Alright, party people, I'm going to show you how a little bit of dark wax can be applied over not just clear wax, but polycrylic too. So we're going to give a little bit of touch of depth to these drawers. This is a client piece, so this is client requested. You might have all sorts of ideas of what you would have done with this piece, and that's so great. Me too. But because this is a client piece, we're going to let the client decide. So, first things first, you're going to grab your dark wax. I use Annie Sloan's. You can also use min waxes. It just needs to be a dark wax. I like this because it's really nice and soft. And when I'm working with not a wax brush, this is just like literally like a dollar store like artist brush. It works really great. The other things that you're going to need are a steel wool. I'm using a 00 for this. And then a glove, because if you try and rub the steel wool with your fingers, you're going to get tiny little shreds of metal inside your fingers. It really hurts. You can't see them and you can't get them out for a few days. So don't do that. Use some rubber tipped gloves, okay? Even the nitrile gloves, like they don't keep the metal shards out of your hands. So use some good gloves. All right, so for this drawer, I've already taken a tack cloth to it and I've wiped it off. After you paint and seal and finish your piece up, it's gonna have a little bit of dust on it, and you just wanna make sure that your workshop is free of dust and your surface is free of dust. Now, misconception that brown wax can only go over clear wax. That's what's done to a lot of pieces, a lot of Annie Sloan stuff. And clear wax is great, but I like finishing my pieces with a water-based polycrylic because it just seals it a little bit more durable. I don't have any of the, it's just easier for me. So dark wax can go over polycrylic. I'm going to show you how. So we're going to open this up. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip this inside. Now, if you like doing makeup at all, it's literally just like applying eyeliner. So I'm going to start over here in this corner. And I'm just going to go through and just put it right in the edge. Now you can do this with gold gilding, you can do this with black wax, just depending on what look you're going for. Typical waxed pieces will have more of a shading, and the client did not want that. She wanted it to look more natural, but just add a depth to these wooden details. So I'm just going to run it through all the way across. I'm trying not to get it on the top, but honestly, do you know what you can do to get wax off if you've put it a place that you don't want it? Using mineral spirits. Mineral spirits takes it right off, and it doesn't take your finish off. Just gonna get it right in the crevice. Go. So we got it on the inside frame. I'm going to do the bottom frame. Too much, you just scrape it on the edge. See, I put a little bit too much right here, so I'm going to go back through and make sure I either use the steel wool to buff that off, or if I need to, I'll grab my mineral spirits. I need this to be a little bit more pointed. It's not as dark as you want, you just need to get more on the brush. Swipe it on down. It's a little too thin in the middle. Last crease, I'm going to get right in this wood detail here. It's really fun on pieces that are ornate, that have a lot of detail, because you can use one of these brushes and just get in all the cracks and crevices and make like the wooden flowers or details on the side, the trellis, to completely pop. And you can use an artist brush, or if you just want to go through with a wax brush, you get it everywhere and then you use steel wool to buff it off the places that you don't want it. Right, Okay, so I have it in that crevice, got it in all the crevices. We're gonna put this aside. I'm gonna pick up my gloves and my steel wool. And you don't want to use the lower grit steel wool because it's just a lot more coarse than this and it can start to rip through the polycrylic. So what I'm gonna do is just, I'm gonna take the edge with my thumb and I'm just gonna rub it next to it just to give it a little bit lightening. And I want to get rid of what looks like crayon marks. I don't want there to be crayon marks. It is that easy. Once you've gotten the steel wool a little bit dirty, you want to move to a separate section and use that to go through, because once you've gotten the wax on it, it's kind of less effective. See how it just gives that beautiful shading? Come down here to the base. Oh, perfect, and it's coming off where I don't want it to. So right here, we're just gonna go through with the nail. Got it right off. Now this does leave a tiny bit of metal dust on here. Just wanna go through and blow it from time to time. I'm gonna move on to the inside ring, soften the edges up. The corner. Again, when it gets too clumpy like that, you need to move your finger to a different section. So you're waxing on and you're waxing off, no joke. Too much up there. There. Not enough taken off here. It's really fun, so you can make it kind of really however you want it to look. You can add more, you can take off some. But wax is so much fun to play with because it's really versatile and you can't mess this up. Like if I took it and got it all over here, you guys are like, oh my gosh. You just literally take that steel wool and you buff it right off. Now it is gonna tint the paint just a little bit on this color, it's not gonna matter. And if I wanted to go through with mineral spirits, I'm just gonna clean that up. But you cannot mess this up. Voila. This piece is done. Wipe it back off with your tack cloth. And we have a slightly dimensional piece that just gives it a natural look without being too dramatic.